What is up, my amazing listeners? How are y'all doing? This is weird. Oh God, this is already failing. My God. Okay. Currently I am recording in the beautiful country of Accra, Ghana. I'm hype, guys. Okay. Your girl finally made it home. It was a full struggle, which is what this whole episode is about. However, like I said, yeah, here I am in Ghana, a land of lowland hills, known as the Gold Coast, as the country's second largest producer of gold in Africa, world's second largest producer of cocoa beans. Accra, the capital where I live, is population 4.1 million. Just had to throw those facts at you, just because, I don't know, anytime I tell people I'm like, I live in Ghana, they're just like, oh, like, what's there? Like, what are some facts? And I'm like, girl, I don't even know facts about the United States, and like, I've lived there my whole entire life. So, it's in West Africa, is usually what I tell people, and they're shook by that, so like, there's that, because some people don't even know that there are many countries in Africa, and it's not one country, but we'll get into that later. That's not the premise of this episode. Anyways, so, y'all, how have you been? I'm struggling a little bit. So I flew in, I got home like Saturday? I think I got home like Saturday. It is now Monday as I'm recording this, as I usually do, and I was so dead yesterday. Yesterday was Mother's Day, by the way. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. So that was beautiful, but I was so dead because if y'all do not know, traveling from the United States to I feel like any country in Ghana. Wow. I'm over here. Yeah, ignorant people. Any country in Africa, excuse me. It's a whole 22-hour journey, and we're going to get into that right now. First off, let's flash back to the last remaining days that I was on campus. Oh, okay. So first off, let me rant about the stupid storage company that I'm using, okay? So obviously I'm not going to get sponsorship from them. You guys, so last year I used this amazing company where they would just come to my dorm room, give me 5 boxes with tape, with scissors, everything. And I told them, yeah, 5 is what I need, because I can tell them any number. And then they would come back a few days later, right before I was leaving, pick them all up, boom, bada bang, there we go. And then I would come back the next year, open my door, boom, my boxes are in my room. How amazing is that? Tell me why my dumb school, there was not enough people who I don't know, I guess use that company, so we had to use some other random company. So for this one, it's a big crate. It's a big wooden crate. It's not even individual boxes, right? So, and I didn't understand. So I'm talking to this lady trying to figure it out. I'm like, oh, so do I take it to my room? How does that work? And this lady's like, oh no, the box is 1,000 pounds. You can't do that. And I was like, okay, cool. So what? So we had to pick basically where the closest stop where these boxes are going to be is to us. And mine, okay guys, it's not that far. But having to take my things one by one to and fro in a cat, in a bat, with a mouse in a house. It was ridiculous. I wanted to cry, guys. It was and I consider myself to be a strong person, lifting these weights in the gym. But it was so tough. I would just come, it was ridiculous. And then when I was coming back from what I thought was my last box, I was like, Miriam, you did it. We're going to order some cheese bread from Domino's. Oh, God, I wish I had cheese bread right now. Anyways, but I was like, you did it, girl. You've made it. Tell me why. I come back to my room, right? I lay down because I'm exhausted. I look over. There's a box in my bed, and I'm just I'm gonna kill myself. So I have to get back up, go put this box in the crate, and then finally come back. And by that point, I was just okay, can I win once? So that was annoying. Your girl took her driving test. Your girl succeeded. I felt so, okay. So the last few days of the week that I was on campus was very emotional for me. Okay. Emotional as in I cried all the time. just expose myself. So about this storage company, that sucked. In regards to there's no food on campus, I would go in, there's no food, I would come out, and I'm just like, okay, should I just starve and die? I don't know. Cried about that, but then I ordered Domino's. Domino's came through for me, so there was that. For my driving, I was so nervous. So guys, the thing that I usually do is, oh, can you hear this? I hope you can't. So I'm recording and like, one thing that I freaking love about Ghana, is that you could just be in your house and you just hear like music or people like preaching and singing. And I don't know what mics they use because they're so far, but I can hear it like perfectly. So I really hope you can't hear that. I don't think you can. It's not showing up on my microphone. Anyways, there's some good bops playing right now, but that's not what we need right now. So basically, for my driving test, one thing that I will do is watch videos of like events that are to come. For example, I watched videos on how to have the perfect freshman year. Came to college and I was like, I hate it here, so that didn't work. But I decided, hey, I didn't learn my lesson. Let's try to watch videos on how to pass my driving test. And I watched like so many. They were talking about like these red flag things where if you do it, you fail on the spot. And I was like, oh God. And then on the suggested, as I was watching these, like how to pass, there was like, I failed my exam twice in a row. And I was like, So I just like, I turned off the computer and I went to bed like crying. Woke up 8:30 a.m. ready to, I was going with my driving instructor to first practice because the car that we had been using was like different from the one I was supposed to use on the real test. So I was like, this is already stressing me out. So we drove around for a bit. It was going good. She told me I should park a little bit, like practice that. Because the test was, I mean, I'm sure most of y'all listening have your driver's test because like, LOL. But I'm a little late to the game, but I got it now. So anyway, so what you do is you pull out from your parking spot, drive around, then you come and you park back in, right? So imagine you drive perfectly and then to come back, you F up the parking. So like, So basically, I was practicing with my driving instructor and I was failing so hard. I wanted to like ask her questions. She was stressing me out. I was like, okay, so on the real driving test, and like I couldn't breathe. I was so confused. I could not breathe. My head was spinning. She was like, okay, what are you asking me? Like, it's okay. I know you're stressed. And I was like, yes, I am stressed. Okay. And I don't know what I'm doing. But anyways, long story short, I passed. So look at me out here in these streets. So I did that. What else happened? Took my exams, didn't care about those, so we're not even gonna go into that. I think that's it. And then and then now let's get into the journey that was coming to where I am today, okay? I really wish that I could just, like, transport myself to me then, and just, like, watch the what am I saying? I guess I'm not okay. I guess I do need to go back to bed. Just watch the tragedy that was what occurred. Okay. So basically, my flight, May 11th, alright? My flight was supposed to be Friday. Well, let me not even use, like, past tense or anything. I'm gonna say it as it is, okay? So my dad emailed me my travel documents, and it was like, okay, Friday, May 11th is my flight. I was like, bet. I looked at the time, it said 5:55 or something like that. I'm like, okay, cool. So I was supposed to leave Friday, right? I am leaving Friday, May 11th, okay? So Thursday, I am like packing all day, buying all this stuff, packing my bags, realizing my suitcases are over 50 pounds, crying to myself about it still. But my birthday's like coming up, so I asked my mom if I could like have some money so I can like buy things for myself. Because no offense to Ghana, but like they don't have stores really. Like I know a lot of people ask me how like Ghana is. It's like beautiful. So it's not all like villages like some people would assume. There definitely are villages and like people living in poverty. That definitely does exist. But there are also some like amazing, beautiful houses and like there are some malls. They like obviously it's not gonna have Forever 21 and Abercrombie and Fitch, you know, but they do have some stores. So like that's really cool. They have amazing clubs. They have like good food. They have nice beaches because like you know we live like on that coastline. So, like, it's a gorgeous place. However, I just wanted money to spend here, okay? Okay, so I did that. I was fully over 50 pounds in my suitcases, but I was like, ah! I mean, you know what? I believe in myself so hard that it's gonna work out, okay? It's gonna work out. So that all happened. I come back home and everything. It's still Thursday. It's like, I don't finish packing my bags until, 4 a.m. And I'm like, okay, I'm so exhausted. And then I sleep. I don't even have a good sleep because I had to store everything way before I was supposed to leave, right? So I'm sleeping with like a sheet. I was just going to throw that away because I've had it for like some time. So I was like, whatever, I'll just get a new one. A sheet, no pillow. Life is trash, but I'm like, anyways. So then I wake up at, let's say 7 something because I have to go to the post office, send something in, send in these dumb textbooks. Then I have to like go to the CVS pharmacy to like put something in or like to buy something. I'm like messing up the details. To buy something quick, like as soon as it opens. Because guys, I'm running against the clock, basically. So like, because my flight is at 5, but like obviously you need to leave early. So I was going to leave for the airport at 2:30. But then I had like asked my friends if they wanted to say bye and stuff. So that was going to be at 12:30, but I need to take a shower beforehand. So I was like, well, I just need to like finish everything. But then after that, I like went to Marshall's because I wanted to pick up a few more things for myself just because, it's about to be my birthday. So obviously, I'm doing that right. This is where life gets tragic. So I am in Marshall's. I go to the restroom and then I see an email from my dad and he's like, oh, so just confirm your arrival time tomorrow, which will be Saturday. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So I look at my ticket and it says 7:55, right? 7:55, but I'm just like, this is a little bit interesting because then I look at the rest of my flight itinerary and it's like uses military time. So I think I see things like 13, 14, 15, right? But everyone knew for a fact that I was getting there at 7:55 a.m. So then I look back at like Friday and I see the 5:52. Y'all, if my flight was at 5 p.m. like I thought, it would have said 17. So basically what you're telling me is I missed my flight to Ghana and now I'm crying in the club. So I call my family and I'm just like, so bad news. You're gonna want to sit down for this one. It's great. So you know how I'm supposed to get there? I'm not coming. Guys, it was ridiculous. I don't know how dumb I was to not catch that, but I didn't. So now my dad is frantically like trying to call and get another ticket for me. Meanwhile, I'm in Marshall's buying my clothes for myself, walking back to my dorm, trying to stay calm but freaking out internally. The whole walk home, like at this point, I'm just like, I didn't even know what to do. Like I could have Ubered home, but I was just like, let me just walk and let me just take time for myself before I die. Let me just relax a little bit. So I bop into Wawa, got myself a caramel macchiato. I'm like, this is beautiful, okay? The sun is shining, what a way to go. But you know what, guys? My dad pulls through, okay? My dad emails me, he's just like, okay, you missed this one. Go onto the Delta website, find another flight that leaves the same day. And guys, tell me why the Lord is playing games with me, because I look and there's a flight leaving at the time I thought at 5 p.m. And I'm just like, literally, you could have just booked this one. Okay. So I tell him, he's just like, okay, bet, pay for it. So guys, I am on my way. Everything's Gucci, okay? Everything's fine. I'm able to take my shower. My bags are packed. I go meet up with my friends. We say goodbye. We get Baskin Robbins. Very cute. Love them so much. Oh God. They're actually very important. So, you'll hear about them in a later episode. But yeah, I'm able to say bye to them, which is really nice. We spend a long time. So as soon as I get back, it's crunch time. I need to change my clothes. It's a little bit ridiculous, because it's so hot, so the clothes I'm in, I'm, sweating, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm disgusting now. I should have taken a shower now, but, it's fine. But I know on the flight's gonna be cold, so I have to, throw on these leggings, but they're Calvin Klein, so I'm looking bougie, and I'm looking cute. Bought them at Marshall's, by the way, only like $16.99. So honestly, don't sleep on Marshalls. Don't sleep on Marshalls. And I take myself, I call this Uber and I'm like, okay, gotta go to the airport. Let's go. And okay, guys, so I love talking. Well, like I'm very introverted, but also like I like talking to people. Like if I feel like I'll get into that later because a lot of people don't understand. Like even when I was talking to my friends that I said bye to, I was telling them like, yeah, in Ghana, like I love clubbing and stuff. Like it's the best. But they're like, but you're introverted. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. So maybe I'm not introverted. I just use that term, but I get very uncomfortable in groups. It's just, I don't know, with clubs. Yes, it's a group, but not everyone is talking to each other. Like I could be there with one or two good friends and we're just dancing and having a good time, you know what I mean? So like that's what I like. But if it's like, I don't know, like a party situation where no one knows anyone, like that I would be more likely to be uncomfortable by. I don't know, like is that social anxiety? I don't want to put a name on it that I don't know, but basically in this, what I am just trying to say is that I call this Uber guy. Usually I love talking to Uber drivers. I learn a lot of stories, very cute. But I was just so stressed and like hot and like fatigued that everything this man said, I was like, yeah, I was so annoyed and like, bless his heart. Like he would just mumble to himself and then like look at me in the rearview mirror and I'm just like nodding along like, like I don't even know what he's saying. And then, okay guys, you know, a few things that I hate, okay? So I hate when people are just like telling me about, I don't know. So basically, we're in this car. I don't know. I feel like y'all can hear this. Okay, sorry that I keep like going off on tangents. But basically, the music is so loud as I'm recording this. I hope y'all can't hear any of this. Oh, it's just so loud. God. Okay. Anyways. First episode by myself and first like after the podcast that I just did with a guest. Now I have to entertain myself and I'm just like being too much. I gotta reel it in a little bit. Okay. So what this Uber driver was saying was that, oh, looks like there's traffic. They put 3 lanes for a reason and now this happens. And I don't know why that like pissed me off. Like I already know I'm probably gonna be late. I'm stressed. I don't know how much my suitcases weigh. So I wanted to get there early so that I could weigh them. You know what I mean? And he's over here like, yep. We're gonna be late. And I'm like, oh God, no. So I'm like trying my best to be positive. I don't even know. We finally get there. I'm like, okay, thank you, sir. I like run over to the wait thing. Y'all, tell me, honestly, God had my back in this moment. First bag, 50 pounds on the dot. Second one, 49.5. And I was like, God, yes. Because to any travelers who don't know, basically my suitcases can't be over 50 pounds. So I was blessed up. And then I checked in my suitcases, got my little boarding passes. Your girl was on her way. So yes, I'm in the airport. We're in Newport News and I'm just walking around. My tickets say go to the front to get my seat. And I'm just like, okay, bet, got it. I'm walking over and I don't know, my life is just so tragic. So I go to the front. This man is so nice. What a kind man, a kind soul. I give him my ticket and he's like, okay, so this flight is gonna be delayed, so you're gonna miss your second leg. And I'm like, oh my God, why is this happening? So basically, I was going from Newport News to Atlanta, right? That's what the plan was. So, and then Atlanta to Amsterdam. So we were supposed to land in Atlanta early enough for me to catch my Amsterdam flight. For some reason, up in the sky, we're having difficulties, pilots. My flight to Atlanta was going to land at 5:56, and my flight to Amsterdam was going to start at 5:57. So I was like, there's no way. So this man was like, okay, you're fine. The flight, like, you're gonna be fine. We're just gonna get you on a new one, and everything's gonna be Gucci. So he changed my flight. I'm like, okay, thank you so much. So then I leave, go to the bathroom and everything. Well, actually, I go and sit. This is important, okay, guys. I go and sit in the lounge for like I don't know, 30 minutes? 30 minutes. And then I go to the bathroom, right? Because it's getting closer to the boarding time. You guys, in the bathroom, some lady comes up and she like looks at me kind of weirdly. And I'm just like, what? And then she's like, do you have your passport? Without even opening my bags, I'm like, probably not. Because I'm stupid. And this lady's like, oh, well, I gave it to like the man up front. You guys, I left my passport up with this man. Or like, I don't know, maybe I dropped it somewhere for like such a long time. And I'm like, oh, why? Why am I like this? Someone tell me why I'm like this. Explain. So the man gives it to me. I'm on my flight on my way to Atlanta. We so fine. I'm in Atlanta. I love being in the Atlantic airport. Why? Because I was born in Georgia. So like, it's so cute. It's also one of the biggest airports. So anywhere it's like, I don't know, there's like this type of room place where it's like a 360 view. It's all glass windows and you can just see all these airplanes. And it's just so nice. Like, I love it so much. Guys, I really do love traveling, even though I'm bad at it, apparently. It's really fun to do. So what do I eat? Oh, I get like Chinese food and it's like bomb. I pick a place to sit right next to some pilots because I love myself some pilots. I really do, guys. I will take pictures of pilots. I will just follow them around. Especially, oh my god, my favorite sight is seeing like two pilots with like their entourage of like flight attendants. And I'm like, okay, squad goals. Come on, crew. I love it so much. And like, I don't know. I actually wanted to be a flight attendant, but I was just like, ooh, that's a little bit risque. It's a little bit risky. I wouldn't want to be like a flight attendant on the ground. Like, I would love to like fly, but I don't know. With flight attendants, it's hard to live like a normal life with like with a family and kids. Just because you're always flying. Like, I can imagine a pilot like that sucks. Like, can you imagine? He's just calling his wife like, honey, I know I said I was going to be back in time for our anniversary, but you know what? My flight from Russia is delayed and now I'm going to South Africa. And then when I'm trying to come back, I'm going to go straight to Canada, you know? And I know that we live in Texas, so I'm going to try to get down there, but actually I'm going to bypass and go to Mexico. So I'll call you tonight, honey. I'll call you tonight. Like, it's so hard. It's so hard to do. So, I don't know. That dream was kind of put on the back burner. I don't know. For now, I'll just, like, appreciate looking at them because they're really cool to me. Anyways, I go and I eat this food and I go over to be on my flight to Amsterdam. And it was great. It was, how long was, my flight from Newport News was like 2 hours or so. Yep. And then the one to, that one was long. How long was that? That was so long. It was like 8 or something to Amsterdam. I don't know. This could all be wrong. But it was so long. But bet there were movies and I watched the movies. I watched, y'all probably have watched them. I watched Thor, hated it. I watched the like last Thor that came out 2018. Fantastic. So I'm like, okay, Chris Hemsworth, like pull through because the first Thor was ridiculous. And like, not to spoil anything, even though that movie came out like so long ago, like y'all should watch it by now. One thing that I hate is stupid movies with like dumb, weak women, okay? Because women are not like that, all right? We are strong and powerful. And to just have some like, then again, I don't know, like this woman in this movie, like she was a scientist, like she was really smart, which like I said, I love intelligence. I stand an intelligent pupil. But she was just like there to be as, I don't know, the source of where Thor is like getting his like energy and his strength. So I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? This is all she's here for? I hated it. The third Thor though, because apparently there's a second one I didn't watch. I don't know. Third Thor, beautiful. I recommend it. Y'all should watch it 10 out of 10. Then I watched The Death Cure. Yikes. When I tell you, first off, I would like to personally go and talk to the director because I found many flaws with it. And I just want to talk, okay? They did my baby angel, Dylan O'Brien, wrong, and I'm very upset by it because Dylan is beautiful. He's a good actor from what I can see. I've only seen like his Maze Runner movies. I haven't even seen Teen Wolf, so like, can I really even critique his acting? But I don't know. He's a cute little boy. And like they made, oh, I hated it. I hated it. Anyways, if y'all have seen it, like let's chat because I was disgusted. Anyways, I finished these movies. I look up at the time, 30 minutes till landing. It's literally like 5 a.m. like my time in the United States. Obviously, Amsterdam is ahead, but like I'm still like in the US time, so it's like 5 a.m. and I'm like, okay, well let me just sleep. I get 30 minutes and I'm dead in Amsterdam. I'm like, I don't know what is happening, but you know what I do know? That these Amsterdonians, what are y'all called there? Okay, this is not helping me. Anyways, the people of Amsterdam, well, maybe they're not even from Amsterdam. Let me just say, I love traveling because I get to see like a wide variety of people. And like, I don't know, so what I found was the people in these airports were one, either like gorgeous and just minding their own business as I look at them creepily as the psychopath I do, or they are the rudest people I've ever seen. So guys, I hate rude people, like I said. It costs $0.00 to be nice, to be decent. Why are people so rude? People would just bump into me and like trample me, and I'm just like, can we say excuse me? Can we say, oh, I'm sorry? What? Like, even if you don't speak like the language or anything, like I'm pretty sure there's a universal way to like be apologetic about something you did, like a little bow and like a wave of your hand, like, oh, you know, something like that. No, I was pushed, shoved, harassed, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I love that. Anyways, in Amsterdam, just me when I tell stories, I'm just like reflecting and I'm just like, oh God. So Amsterdam, she's very cute, but the food is too bougie for me. I got myself a little caramel macchiato from Starbucks. At least they had Starbucks. They spelled my name perfectly, as you can imagine, you know, spelled it as Mary, like Mary had a little lamb, and then the end was like yam. So honestly, that was gonna be like my Finsta name if I ever made a Finsta, like Miriam's Yams, or like Mary has yams. I thought it was clever, but then I realized I use my original Instagram as a Finsta. Like I don't need a Finsta. Like I'm not being wild in my life right now, so I don't need a Finsta. Anyways, so I get myself this iced caramel macchiato, but there's like no food for me to like eat, and I'm just like so disgusted. I'm starving, but I'm just like, well, I have some Sour Patch Kids, so like this is fine. I'll eat this. Are you kidding? Miriam, what? Sour Patch Kids is not substantive, and yet I was like, bet, this is good for me. Get in this flight. Okay, so another thing that I feel like, I'm not going to generalize, but the people that were waiting to go to Accra, Ghana, at this airport, like, so fully, the boarding time was not until 30 minutes later, but like, I don't know why. We're just very impatient. I don't know, we're impatient, so I'm just standing up behind all these people for 30 minutes before we're even called to board, and I'm just like, okay, this is fine. I love standing up. This is great. I hated that. Oh, also going back. So, okay. I just think it's so ridiculous. So obviously I travel in the economy class, you know, normal. It's so funny to me how like, so you're standing in different lines. And let me actually pull up what I wrote about this. Where is it? Okay. So basically, it's so funny because they're just like, okay, oh gosh, I almost dropped my phone. So it's like, okay, now calling up military class, or like those in the military, like feel free to board. And I'm just like, wow, thank you for your service. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And then it's like, women and children. No, well, mothers with like small children. And I'm like, okay, yep. Come through, future of the world. Yes. And then it's like, those who need a little bit more time to get on the flight can board. And I'm just like, true. We need to be accommodating to these individuals. Absolutely. And then we have business class now boarding. And I'm like, Oh, okay, yeah. True, y'all got money. Come through. Sky priority, now boarding. And I'm like, okay, can I get on my flight? And it's like, other priority members, now boarding. Zone 1, now boarding. Zone 2. Finally, I'm like, okay, here I come. Oh, the day that I get to fly first class. Because obviously when I get on the plane, these people are already sitting down and they're just looking up at me like I'm a disgusting human being. And I'm just like, okay, just because you are able to lay down with your wine, like, it doesn't matter. I'll be way in the back of this flight and I'm still gonna be happy, okay? But it does look fun. Like, you just get to lay out. Which is honestly ideal if you're flying for like over 6 hours, because my butt hurt so bad from the flight from Atlanta to Amsterdam. Like, I was in so much pain. It was a little bit ridiculous. But I hate, so you board by like zones, and I feel like there's like 4 zones or something. I don't know, let's say that for example. And there's like X amount of people. The thing that I dislike, so basically, and I'm saying all this as if people you've never traveled, but surprisingly, there are a lot of people who don't even have passports, and I'm like, what? Like, I've been traveling since I was very young, so like, I don't know, that was just really surprising to me. If you haven't had the chance to travel, I highly recommend it. It's like fun. Get to see another part of the world, understand that like, you're not the only country that matters. Mostly speaking to the Americans who probably aren't listening, because I would not be friends with like this type of trash. Like, some of my friends are trash because like, hello, we're all trashy. I love you guys. But I would never be like friends with like this type of garbage. Like the people who are like, you know what? America's the best country in the world, all right? And like, that's all that matters. And I'm purposely using a Southern accent. One, I was born in Georgia, so like, that's not even me being discriminatory or like racist or anything. Like, I fully had friends who like spoke like that. But 2, I feel like it's mostly those individuals who believe that type of thing. Anyways, why don't you get out a little more, okay? See the other part of the world. So one thing I hate, so basically in your seats, there's an overhead bin where you put in your carry-on. If you need like your laptop or anything, you can bring your carry-on on board as long as it is a certain weight. I hate every time how like, that's why you really gotta be in the front. So that's why I understand some of these people going to Ghana who are like in line from the get-go, because they're like, I'm gonna have a place for my carry-on. Because every time I open the bin where my seat is supposed to be, it's always full, and yet I'm the first one in my row. So I'm like, who is putting their bag in my, what? Who? So I hate it. And then I have to like put my carry-on miles down from me and then like jump into the deep end to like get it back. It's ridiculous. It's fully ridiculous. So I get it. And we're sitting down. We're Gucci. We're great. Okay, so the things that happened on this flight. So I watched movies again. I don't know why I just don't sleep. I don't know, because like that's why I'm so dead and it's problematic. But what did I watch? I watched what did I watch? Oh, no. Huh. Well, the most important one I watched was Coco, and you guys, I was warned. My sisters told me, they were just like, ooh, do you really want to watch that next to people? And I was like, what are you even saying right now? Basically, like, from one particular scene on, I was crying. So I'm just like, okay, these flight attendants are just gonna look at me like, what is happening to her right now? Y'all, Coco, brilliant movie. Sad, moving, inspirational, everything and more. I highly recommend it. I loved it a lot. I also love the culture. Like, that was really beautiful. Because I knew all about, like, the Day of the Dead, but I didn't know, like, everything about that. And obviously, I don't know if it's real, because, like, obviously Coco's, like, an animated movie for kids, but I'm sure it has realistic elements. So good. 10 out of 10. Would I recommend? So that happened. That was great. Oh, I also watched Central Intelligence, where, like, oh my God, Dwayne Johnson can get it. He can get it. Wow. That man? Okay. Let me calm down a little bit. Okay. And then when he did that peck thing, well, just going off. Is that like a normal thing to do? Because I've seen that in many movies. Like, well, guys, or like men, I'll say, like, men will just do this like thing where they'll just like flex their pecs. I don't know. And they'll do like right, left, and then like both at the same time. Is that real? Because if so, I want that. I want to see that before I die. I want to experience seeing that visual before I die. Okay? To anyone listening, please. Hello? The man upstairs, I highly want to see that, please. Thank you. Okay. So that happened. That was great. But one particular thing that happened. Okay. So I'm sitting next to this woman. She's very cute. She's going to Ghana to like do volunteer work, and I'm just like, oh, that's so nice. This man next to me, I'm sure he's Ghanaian. He had an accent. He was like talking over me to speak to this woman, and I was just like, okay, yeah, like obviously you're interested in what she's doing. But to fling yourself over me and talk to her, I already talked about that in a previous episode. I hate that because I'm already used to being forgotten and left behind and just thrown like, have you ever feel like a plastic bag? Yes, I do, Katy Perry, I do. So I did not like that at all. But then he went back to his spot. So I was like, okay, good, cool. And then he talked to me a little bit about why I lived in Ghana. So like, that was nice too. I like that. I just like being included. You know what I mean? So anyways, this woman's really cute beside me. And we're just watching our own individual movies. We look up and there's like 3 angels looking at us. Like it's this little girl and then like these 2 boys, and they're like twins because they're dressed the same and they look alike. So like, I'm just going to say they're twins. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, And the woman next to me is dying too. And we're just like dying playing with these children. It's so cute. And they have like these little airplanes that the flight attendant gave them. And they're just like saying airplane like over and over. And I'm like, my heart can't handle this today. So we're laughing and like chatting with them. They're so cute. And like I look over and like some people are giving us disgusted looks, and I'm like, can you not be Satan right now? These are children. Oh my gosh. That was so rude. And then basically, this happened for about 10-15 minutes. So you can only imagine that I was looking at how many hours we have left on this flight. Oh, okay, 3 hours? Great. We're going into minute 15 and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot do this. So I try to put my headphones back in, continue watching my Dwayne Johnson, and this kid, so they're standing up in their seats looking at this woman and I, right? And the child is like hitting my screen, so like my movie will just stop. And I'm just like, oh, what is happening right now? Like, it's too much. It's too much. And the woman next to me is like trying her hardest to, I think she was more into the kids than I was. I obviously thought they were really cute, but like by minute 16, I was like, I'm gonna commit a murder on this flight. Okay, I'm gonna commit a murder. It was so much. But then like one child, I think, grabbed onto the woman next to me. Like she got her passport and then like her headphones, and then like finally because this whole time, right, the mother is just like not doing anything about it. And I'm like, okay, on one hand I understand letting our child like go say hi to like strangers. Well, if you're like within like range and like the child is just very friendly. Okay, I'm not just saying, yep, Billy, you can go down the street and go say hi to a few folks you've never met. No, I'm not saying that. So this woman would turn around, smile at us, like playing with her children. Very cute. But then like, after it got to be too much, I was like peering around, like looking at this mother, begging her to get her children, and she would not, until finally she yells at her daughter for playing with this woman's headphones. The daughter cries. The 2 sons start crying. I promptly put my headphones back in, and I'm like, Dwayne, take it away. So that happened. Finally, this flight is... Oh, let me just say this part. I Snapchatted about it because I was like, this is ridiculous. So this flight attendant comes through, and he like is carrying a tray with like drinks. So I think there's like 2 apple juices, 2 orange juices, like 2 things of water. And I like go to get it, and I'm like, oh, is this water? And he's like, no, it's vodka. And he looks at me with like a deadpan glare, and I'm just like, all right, relax. What? I was so shook, and I was just like, oh, and I'm just like trying to put it back, but like also like I am holding it, and like the woman next to me is laughing, he's laughing. I feel like the kids in front of me are laughing, and I'm just like, okay, thank you. And then he's like, no, it's water. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I was ready to go. I was ready to leave. Get off this flight. I go in my little, my favorite thing, guys. So my favorite thing is having to wait at the baggage claim for my bags. It's honestly so great. I love it so much. Cause that always takes forever. But then I finally walk outside the doors. They tell me Akwaba, which means welcome, in Ghana here. So love hearing that every time. And, I see my sisters, I see my dad, my mom's at home cooking me up a meal because she's fantastic. And she knew I didn't eat and she knew I was starved. So that was great. That was great. So that was my tale. Do you see the ridiculousness that is traveling? I can't. And most of it, well, I would say the biggest tragedy was my fault. Okay, I'll take the blame because I feel like if I had taken the 5 a.m. flight, I would have gotten to Ghana at 8 a.m. and who's to say that maybe I would have liked some food at the Amsterdam airport, okay? Maybe I wouldn't have run into such rude individuals, okay? Maybe I definitely would have not been on that flight with the 3 angels that quickly turned into devil children. So, okay, I'll take the blame, okay? Yeah. But I'm excited. As you're listening to this, my birthday's tomorrow, so woo! I'm turning 20. 20 years of being single, 20 years of never having more than 4 friends at a time. 20 years of thinking I'm trash, knowing I'm trash. I'm just kidding. So one thing that I just want to leave this episode on, I'm very self-deprecating, but honestly, I love myself so hard. My personality, the values I have, I don't know. And I feel like that's a very common thing, on Tumblr. I feel like I relate so hard to Tumblr and Twitter people, because they're just y'all ever think that, on one hand, you're the most trash human being on this earth, but on the other hand, you're just a goddess that reigns over all people. And I'm absolutely. I'm the best person I know, but also the worst person I know. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So I'm turning 20 and I'm excited about it. I'm pumped about it. And I'm really gonna make 20 an unstoppable year. I don't know, mostly because this is my last wholesome birthday before 21, going to go to Vegas and we're gonna party. And a party till it's whatever. What is that song? Gosh, where did that song go? Where'd he go? Anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. This is cool that I can record now in the comfort of my own home with my own microphone. Very cute. I look so professional. I don't know. Like I said, I tell you listeners all the time, I genuinely, truly and genuinely, I think is what I was going for. Coin it. I genuinely do love doing this. So now I'm able to do it anywhere. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Love you guys so hard and enjoy the rest of your week on this beautiful Tea Tuesday. All right, guys. Bye.